I'm excited. This thing is going to be sweet. I am so excited. This shotgun is going to be amazing. Shotgun. Oh, it's gonna be sweet. I knew I needed another, like, mid-range upgrade. Are you going to do this classic game stereotype where it is overpowered at close range but useless at long range? Duh! Of course! It's gonna be so much fun. What's your preference? You like realistic shotguns? Jessica Mack, thank you so much for that host. Everyone go check out Jessica Mack's stream. I don't have a bot to shout her out, but I'm just gonna... paste her URL. Welcome, viewers. You guys are up late. How has things been going? They have been going pretty well. How would I describe this? Short range cone effect. We're making a shotgun. I'm really excited. This shotgun is going to be a lot of fun. Short range, wide angle. Now we actually have to make an icon for this real quick. How are you doing, Rad Lab? Let's see here. Doing good, finally back from work so I can relax and watch other people work. Awesome! That's always, I like doing that. Does that look like a shotgun shell? Oh man. Let's see if I can actually fit this in. How's everyone else doing? It's Monday. How was everyone's Monday? Did you guys see the eclipse? I did not see the eclipse. It was cloudy. Oh, I'm excited. I finally get a shotgun. We'll see if I can pull this off. I just added an extra thing to the upgrade menu and I feel like it's just gonna be a little bit overcrowded. But that's okay. Maybe. Let's give ourselves a bunch of energy. Here we go. It looks pretty similar to the sniper. I need to make it fatter and yeah, just exaggerate it a little bit. Like that, and then this. See how that goes. That's better. That's too tall. Needs to be moved down a little bit. Probably scaled down. Okay, now we have to actually write this thing. Shoot, we gotta reuse this code. Figure out what parameters we need. Sorry for the ads. Is that it? Wow. You're working with your own engine. Yes, it is a custom C++ engine. Let's call it drone bolt spawn. Drone position. Oh, really? You just started working on one? Awesome. OpenGL. Let's just try doing the same for now and see how it goes. What languages are you using? Right now this is C++, almost entirely C++. There is some Python for the import process, but mostly C++. Oh cool, you're doing C++ also. Wow, you're a brave soul. You're calling it bacon. That's awesome. I like that. So what are your goals with the engine? How long have you been working on yours for? I have been working on mine for 2.5 years. Engine will be centered on an FPS. Okay. Plan on building a game on top of it. Okay, cool. A lot of people keep asking me why I'm not using something like Unity. It's gonna have UI drag drop element too. Yeah, I don't know. I like doing stuff on my own and knowing when something goes wrong that you can yes, Deceiver will be coming to PS4. I have to rewrite the graphics API to use the PlayStation API, but I'll do it. Let's see. Work as a C# developer by day. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say, like a lot of people try and jump into C++ right off the bat, and it's not usually a good idea. But if you've got experience, then that really helps a lot. CS degree as well. Cool. Yeah, even with that, it can be it's hard enough. I mean, it's hard enough for me, and this is like my 6th or 7th engine I've done, so it's still a challenge. So yeah, it sounds like you're qualified for the job though. Taking some time getting used to. Yeah, yeah. Well, it depends on which C++ you're using, because there's so many features in the language that you can. There are like tons of different dialects of C++ that you could use. So if you're using a lot of STL, that's one thing, and then if you're using a lot of C++ 17 features or whatever, that's another thing. And I think there's something called Orthodox C++, which I really like, which is like, it's mostly like C with a couple of nice C++ features. I try not to use STL stuff, but some people use it and it's fine. I want it to spawn like a ton of bolts. Been reading Game Engine Architecture. Oh, is that like the ebook? Is that available online? Is there a website for that? Or is that like game programming patterns? There's a book that's like an ebook that has a bunch of programming patterns, and which is really good, but that might be different from what you're talking about. Yeah, there is something called EASTL, which is on GitHub, and Electronic Arts uses it as basically mostly a drop-in replacement for STL. Oh, you have a physical copy. 900 pages, holy cow. I think I wrote it, I think worked for Naughty Dog at some point. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, Naughty Dog has some incredible technology. Are you working solo on this project? Right now, yes. Hopefully I will have someone doing the audio for this very soon. But we will see. Alright, I think that's gonna do it for now. The shotgun might be a lot easier than I was expecting it to be. Let's see. Lucky enough to do this full time. Right now, I've been full time on this mostly for the past 2.5 years, but I do take contract work and I'm almost out of money. And so I am probably gonna have to do something about that very soon. But we'll see. Work 40 hours a week. Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, it's really hard to work 40 hours a week, especially if you're programming for 40 hours a week and then come home and try and work on your own projects. It's really difficult to do that. I've done that. It's not fun. Trying to build an engine, learn 3D modeling. Oh, you're trying to build an engine and learn 3D modeling. Are you using Blender? Yeah, that's really tough to do. Drone, see what happens. Yeah, Blender. Yeah, I don't know. It's real hard. Maybe 15 hours. That's a lot. I don't think I did 15 hours of work when I was working full time. What libraries and frameworks are you using? You can check the link. There's a link to the GitHub, and you can see in the repository there's a folder called External. And this is all the libraries I'm using, and almost all of them are submodules that link to other GitHub repositories, so you can fork them from there. So I use Asimp. This is for asset importing, Bullet for physics, CJSON for JSON parsing, curl for HTTP requests, because I do some multiplayer networking authentication. Durent, this is just a single header library for enumerating directories. FastLZ, that's compression library. Glue is for finding OpenGL function pointers. LoadPNG is for loading PNGs. This is a random number generator. Recast navigation for generating nav meshes and doing navigation requests. SDL for input and windowing. This is a submodule that has a list of gamepad controller bindings. SQLite for player profiles and stuff like that. And Wise for audio. Hambone, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to the stream. Do you like Bullet Physics System? I don't really, but compared to some physics engines out there, it's pretty good. It can really get bogged down fast with ragdolls, which is one of the main things I use it for. Very interesting. Doesn't seem to be working at all. In any capacity whatsoever. Let's try our Bolter. Bolter still works. Any recommendations for networking stuff? Yeah, I don't use any libraries for networking, so what I use is there's a website called Gafferon Games, which is a bunch of articles by Glenn Fiedler? I don't know. He did the netcode for Titanfall 2, and is just a really amazing guy. And he has a series of articles on how to do networking from the ground up. So from just plain old sockets, like here's how you open up a socket, to all the way up to like some crazy, really advanced stuff. And so what I did is he also has a library on GitHub, which you could, if you wanted, you could just use that. is. So yeah, it's called Yojimbo. And so you can just include this in your project and be able to and you'll have a ton of networking awesome stuff right out of the box. But this is pretty involved, and it has a lot of dependencies, and it does a lot of stuff, like some really insane stuff, and I didn't really want all of that. So what I did is I stole some things from this code. So I copy pasted individual bits and pieces that were really useful, and then the rest of it I just used his articles as a overall guide, and kind of wrote my own implementation. So that's how I've gotten through it so far. This is not working at all. Be referencing that a lot. Yeah, it's very, very, very useful. Glad I'm not the only one who does things from the ground up. Yeah, there's a whole... are you familiar with the Handmade Hero community? There's a whole community now. Yeah, I should set this to rapid fire. See Muratori as daddy. Yeah. Casey is freaking amazing. Yeah, his stuff is definitely involved in, like, I don't necessarily watch it all the time, but sometimes I'll just poke my head in and see what they're up to, and it's always amazing to see. I think that stream can get a little bit lost in the weeds, because at some point, you know, you have to finish a game and not, you know, be working on like tools and debug stuff. But overall, it is really awesome. So I don't know why this isn't working at all. Handmade Hero, I could tell, was a bit deeper than I want to go. Yeah, I mean, at one point, Handmade Hero like wrote their own editor. They like were editing because they use 4Coder for their IDE, and so they were like editing 4Coder and changing stuff. And it's like, okay, when you start editing your own text editor, that's a little bit beyond what I want to do. This let's write our own 3D modeling program. Yeah, that is where I start to be like, I don't know about this. Cancel. Yeah, I mean, everyone has to strike a different balance of building on existing stuff and writing their own. And for me, like, Blender is so amazing. It's such an awesome project that, and I've been using it for 10 years. And so, like, for this project, I ended up using Blender as the level editor. So, you know, and it's always a trade-off as, you know, how much time do you want to spend working on the tools? Because my last game, I wrote my own level editor, and it was, I mean, I kind of needed to, I had to, but I spent a ton of time on that level editor, and now I've spent much less time, and it's not great. I mean, there's a lot of work that I have to do in Blender to get a level, like, I kind of grunt work that I could automate. But it's like that XKCD thing where the amount of time that you spend automating it versus the amount of time you save, there's a certain point where you have to, I don't know, make the trade-off there. So, yeah, Blender worked out nicely for me for the level editing because I just basically put a bunch of empties in the level, like this empty right here. And then Blender has custom properties that are not super easy to use, but basically you just add a custom property and you can give it a value of, you know, an integer or a float or a string. And then what I do is just basically this just gets copied into a JSON dictionary. And that's how so all of my objects, my special objects, are tagged in this way with these special properties. So this tells the game that it's a turret. And then I have some other stuff that I do with Blender to make it easier, but that's basically it. And then I have a Blender script that exports the JSON file. Gambit TV, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to the stream. Yes, yeah, and like I said, I use a Blender script that exports that JSON, so you wouldn't even have to use custom properties. You could, you know, you could have the script pick out something else based on, you know, the color of the material, or which I also do that as well. It's really up to you. I mean, you could write your own UI in Blender, which is extremely extensible. I mean, it's in Python, so it's pretty easy, and so you could write your own UI that's a lot easier than that custom property thing. You know, you could go crazy with it if you wanted, and it wouldn't be that hard. And then you could have full control over what data gets exported into your JSON file. I mean, wouldn't even have to be JSON, it could be anything you want. Okay, let's see here. Come on, shotgun. Alright, here we go. Those white edge outlines part of the models. Or is it part of the rendering pipeline? Both. So what I do is I have as part of my build process, when I import a model, I do edge detection at compile time, and I create a separate index buffer. So I have one index buffer that renders everything solid, and then I have another index buffer that has only the edges in it. And then in the render pipeline, I just render the different index buffers depending on what I want. If I'm rendering edges, then I use the edge index buffer. And then, yeah, I just render them with OpenGL lines. Come on, shotgun. We have one bolt that came out. Oh, that worked! Did you see that? But they like spawn way out in the middle of nowhere. Super weird. I think my fake bolt system is messed up. Love the idea of having the capture points hanging like that and you have to aim and hit them, but I feel like there will be annoying issues with people having to hit them in multiplayer. I mean, the netcode is designed to handle that. So there's a, I don't know if you noticed, there's a indicator that will show you where to aim.
Discover the words behind
Oh,
music
ads.
with Audible. Explore an unmatched selection of music stories from some of your favorite artists. Ask Siri or Google to download the Audible app and start listening today with a free 30-day trial.
So this, no, you can't see it anymore. That was kind of cool. Anyway, there's a triangle. Maybe I'll be able to see it here if he gets it. Come on, take that thing. Well, you can see it on him. There's a triangle that kind of is a lead indicator. It shows you where to aim in front of him, and that really helps you, especially with these battery things. Okay, Hambone, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Good luck with your C++ engine. Sounds awesome. I'm sure anyone who's played a multiplayer game can recount stories of being hit around corners or dodging and still being hit. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean that's a reality of multiplayer games. But I mean this is one of those things that is shouldn't be an issue. It like your hit will register hopefully no matter what. There we go. There we go. So here we go. So this thing kind of gives you a guess as to where you need to hit. But yeah, I'll show you. So check this out. I have this thing called Clumsy. And basically what this does, so you can see, so I have some stats that might not come through on the stream, but in the top left corner there you can see some stats about the network and performance. So right now the ping is 10 milliseconds because we're connected to localhost, but as soon as I turn this on, and then I can have it do different things. So I can have it add some delay, and then you can see in my game up there, I can't use the mouse, the ping goes way up to 100 milliseconds. And then I can also have it drop traffic as well. And then you'll see here my netcode will start to resend the dropped packets. So Clumsy is dropping every 10th packet here, and my netcode has to resend it. If I stop doing it, then all the packets will go through. But anyway, it's still fairly playable, even with a decent amount of lag here, so we'll demonstrate. The thing is that the server will basically rewind the state of the world to 100 milliseconds in the past to see. So even if this is, oh shoot, I got killed. Even if the battery is bouncing around all over the place, you should still be able to hit it pretty reliably. So this was with that was with 80 milliseconds of lag, and I was still able to hit it with no problem. But let's try it with a little bit more. So now we've got 130 milliseconds of lag. Oh crap, I ran out of drones and now we're spectating. Well, anyway, it's pretty reliable. I've been spending the past week like making the netcode absolutely bulletproof. So, however, our shotgun is not bulletproof yet. It's not working. I still don't like that icon either. It's too big. I don't like how the bolts seem to spawn way out there. Like they're spawning so far away. I don't understand why. So let's try comparing it to the actual bolter. So that works perfectly. Shotgun. Let's see here. Boom. See, it triggers on the server first. So we have to do our client-side prediction. Ooh, this is weird. Okay, so our shotgun pattern needs to be not random, but actually predictable. That sucks. So we can't do this random thing anymore. Which means what I should do is shotgun. I don't have a static initializer yet. Alright, now we gotta make our pattern. So let's say, let's have one in the middle. Then we'll have three closely grouped. Let's see. We'll say pi times You're using your own math library. Yes, but it's mostly stolen from Ogre. So I like copy pasted a bunch of stuff from Ogre, basically. Let's see. 1 times 2 divided by 3. And then let's have 6 more. And let's have him. So that's 10, and then we got 2 more to do randomly. Feeling it should be this way. Actually, that one should be that way. And this should be +4. And then we'll just see what happens. What if I just do 9, 3, or 8? See what it does. That's fascinating. Not exactly what I wanted. So it just... okay. Basically, we want this. This is what I do with math. Like 90% of math is just like in game dev is just like trial and error. Just switch the coordinates until it works. And then this, I feel like. gotta be... Yeah. I think I just had the coordinates flipped. We'll find out. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Let's see. Should have more impact, and it should be a little bit more focused. So I'm gonna say 0.0. And we're gonna see. Let's just see how this goes. I'm gonna have to redo this cooldown system because it is not designed properly. And I want to try using the shotgun on something and see what happens. Still pretty unfocused, but that's kind of what a shotgun's supposed to do. Yeah, like that was pretty much useless against that. I think it should be a little bit more focused. It's like so broad. So much progress from last year. Wow, you've been following a while. See, that was useless. That's not good. Shouldn't be totally useless. Man, it's not doing anything. There we go. Let's see. This should definitely be less. Say did the eclipse inspire you to add ninja swords? Why would... I'm sorry, I'm too stupid to make the connection there. Yeah, I wasn't actually able to see the eclipse today. It was cloudy. I was a little bit disappointed. But I saw plenty of pictures online, so... Boy, that's still very broad. Still very broad. I definitely like that it takes 2 charges to fire. I don't like that... Okay, we're gonna have to change this to 13 pellets, and this to 9. That's better. And I think... Yeah, even narrower choke. Oops. Shabam. Whoa, did you see that? It's firing him backwards. It's definitely firing him backwards. Would I change something? Oh, 0.8. Idiot. Ninja swords. I'm not sure what made you say that, but it is an intriguing idea. Some sort of melee. That could be a lot of fun. I want to use this on somebody. Boom. I like how many particles it shows it creates. I want it to kick back too. If I could get some kick, that would be really good. There is not a release date yet, but I am really gunning for some kind of early access release this fall, like in the next couple months. Would be fantastic. What I really need the most right now is player feedback and playtesting, and so yeah, I'm pushing for a Kickstarter this fall, and that would entail a multiplayer demo that would be free to play for the duration of the Kickstarter. Everyone could just jump in and play, and I would get a lot of feedback and know where to advance from there. So I am hoping to do everything in my power to make that happen this fall. I feel like the shotgun should probably not be, it should probably disable as soon as you fire it. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna get rid of that. Lucifer D2, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, let's see. So the spread, I think, could even be a little bit smaller. No sub emote. Are you working on one? I am just an affiliate. Do affiliates get sub emotes? I mean, I'm very new to all that Twitch stuff. Do I have access to emotes? I feel like I don't. If I do, I could totally make one. Maybe if anyone has any suggestions for a good emote. Still need to tweak that. Affiliates can get subscribers now, and you can get one emote. Oh, I only get one? I gotta really make it count. What should I do? That's a pretty good spread. 1 emote for $5, 2 emotes for... Oh, okay. So you can have 3 on your channel, but 2 are behind higher sub walls. Okay. Well, I gotta make my 1 emote really, really count, though. I'll have to think about this. Yeah, this shotgun is not very effective against a lot of enemies. It's still... still too wide, I feel. And it should be faster, I think. Yeah, this should be like... Yeah, I think it needs to be faster too. Yeah, I want him to be fast. Crap. Oh, man. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm gonna need some help coming up with emotes for sure. I don't even know what people do for emotes, or what's standard accepted practice, or what. What? Oh, stupid Visual Studio. The only person I currently subscribe to has a Blender Years pick as his emote. I don't know that. I'm not gonna have the shotgun actually have a light attached to it. That's a lot of lights. Alright, character from one of your games doing something, maybe some action that can tie into another emote next to it. Oh, that's smart. Yeah. I think maybe a drone and then a minion where the drone is like flying through his head. Simple emotion someone can read easily. I mean, headshot is a good emotion, right? Okay, now Visual Studio is just getting confused. Bolt drone bolter, bolt drone shotgun. Should be good. I think I'm going to tone down the... Headshot is a really good one, can convey a lot of emotions. Yes. I was joking, but also kind of serious. Does your Visual Studio 2017 crash all the time? Actually, not too bad. Unity crashes all the time. I do Unity stuff for work sometimes, and it crashes a lot. Visual Studio usually doesn't crash. It's slow, it'll slow down, but usually doesn't crash. Usually this helps. Closing all my documents. And Xcode. Yeah, Xcode crashes all the time. For sure. Oh my gosh. I'll just leave the particles as is for now. Let's just see if this compiles even. Yeah, Visual Studio doesn't crash. I have had Visual Studio compile, just silently compile incorrect code. Like, I'll have some code in a header and it will build all fine and everything, but the incremental build just messes up and like you'll end up getting stuff like 1 + 1 = 3 and you're like, what the heck happened? And you're debugging, you narrow it down to one line and it's like there's nothing wrong with this code, and then you just rebuild the whole project and it works because it turned out Visual Studio just decided to compile incorrect code. Visual Studio Code for everything now since I use a Mac. Yeah, it's just... I just don't like Electron apps. I mean, like, Visual Studio is bloated enough. To me, Visual Studio is the best IDE out there, But it still sucks. Or yeah, like right now, it can't. It's deciding that there's all these errors here that are not actually real. Stupid Visual Studio. Still gotta change that icon. Oh, they're faster. I like it. Boom. Yeah, shotgun's not going to be useful against... I mean, I could make the spread even less. See how this works against somebody. Dang it. Tricky thing is that it takes 2 charges to fire it. I'm out of energy, or I'm out of lives. Yeah, like right here, this could be useful. Boom. Boom. Okay, this is actually a reasonable strategy. Because all the hits go right into it. I mean, that's kind of what shotguns do in video games, right? You gotta get it right up in their face and just blam. Ha! This is kind of a viable weapon now. It's just confetti. Yeah, I do love the incredible amount of sparks. Don't use video game shotgun logic. Use real life shotgun logic where it's put the perfect weapon almost everywhere. Yeah, probably should. I am a huge fan of shotguns. Boom. That's really nice. Ah, this is good. You gotta really be close to the thing though. But against the drones and like minions and stuff, it's definitely more useful. Whoops. I should try a different map. Whoops. Right. Let's do Plaza. Attack. See, when you're stealth like this, it's definitely useful to be able to hit this guy. Boom. Why are you... Oh, okay, I see. You have a Discord. Yes! Yes, there is a Discord. If anyone would like to join, it's pretty silent so far. I should link that in the, I should link that in my Twitch description. Just idle in a million servers, exactly. That's somebody messaging right now. See, this shotgun is pretty sweet. I think I'm okay with this. It might be OP, but that's kind of the point of a shotgun. See, you really got to be close, too, to hit him. So good. The amount of sparks that comes out is definitely fantastic. We'll defend this time. Since you're an affiliate, you can partner with Discord to get your own fancy invite URL and link rolls with subs and stuff. Oh, wow. Okay. I will have to look into that. There's so much I have to research. I just haven't put as much effort into Twitch as I need to. Maybe it is a little bit OP. Let's see here. Let's hit into T. You know what? That's... Yeah, I want shotguns to definitely be, like, just mow through minions. Maybe a little bit more of a spread. See how that goes. Didn't mean to put defend. Crap. Yeah, I would like to have even like Discord integration with the game. Especially early on when there will be beta testing. I think Discord would be useful for like scheduling people who want to play at the same time when the player base is really small. Discord could be helpful to get people online at the same time. I wonder if... Interesting. Let's see. I'm gonna change that. Whoops. So especially since you're going to assign people testing rules and then notify certain rules, making announcements easy. That's a very good idea. Yeah, I definitely want like Discord integration and organization, and I really need just like a community manager. That would be amazing. But right now that's a pipe dream. Let's get a different ability as well. The buzzer too. Community management takes a lot of time, where you would rather be making the games, probably where a lot of indies struggle. Yeah, marketing and community management and outreach and all that stuff is just really, really hard when you just want to be making the game. Oh, that sucks. I did bad. Yeah, that was where I failed last game as well. I would like to do better this time. Mighty number 9. Yeah. Yeah. No one wants to become that. Ha! Yeah, I'm fairly happy with that shotgun. I think it's I think it's pretty good. Everyone is tribeless. Sometimes you seriously do need someone to just say, that would be bad. PR, don't do it. Yeah. Yeah, that was a bit of a disaster. Sweet. Yeah, the developer, yeah, Mike Malbec. He's still making games though. So what I'm curious is if this upgrade menu looks ridiculous on a 3 or 4 player screen. Oh, that icon. I need to change that icon too. Yeah, his game got unbanned. Not sure if he had to drop from the project though. No, I think he's working on a new version of the project. Sorry about the train, guys. Yeah, I think this will probably wrap it up. Jack Conceprio. Thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to the stream. Like how art programs always have amazing examples of what you could do, like if you were not... yeah, the splash for Blender. Yeah. Blender always amazes me. I mean, Blender is freaking amazing. And it's stable, it never crashes, it runs fast, it opens instantly, it's just incredible. Incredible piece of software engineering. Alright, let's do this. Time Stunner, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to the stream. Come here, you. Yes. Shoot. Get out of here. So this is a new experiment. Oh wow, these guys are glitched out. I feel like this is probably too steep for them. That's probably what's going on. I will change that. Let me write that down real fast. Before I forget. Oh. Okay, that icon is definitely better. I could turn it horizontally, but the sniper icon is vertical. I think I'll keep it that way. Yeah, the shotgun might be OP, but I like everything being OP. So yeah, it's this crazy experiment where... Oh man, like right now I only have one drone left, one life. And, but I can go buy another life. And now I have 2 drones. So this is a new experiment. Normally you would just have a limited number of lives and that's it. But now you can actually purchase more lives. So I don't know if I'm going to keep that or not. Like right now I'm on my last life. See, these guys are standing around. Too steep. I feel like the shotgun is risky enough that it's okay being OP. Like, I'm down to my last life here. It's pretty risky. Come on. Ha! Gotcha. Oh, that needs to be reversed. That rotation needs to be reversed. I'm writing that down as well. Alright, let's take out this turret. That's a glitch. He should not be able to shoot me through that wall. Can you fire while you are jumping? No. See, there I am out of lives. Hey, we won. Yeah, well, let's make those changes. Flip that. And this is too steep. And I feel like it's the same over here too, probably. Let's see here. 4.7. Four 4.7, 3.5 tall. How long have you been making this game? About 2.5 years. And then let's check this one over here. Oh, it's a mirror. Derp. So we will rotate like this and set this and 2. See how that looks. Could even go farther. Try and make these parallel. I feel like it's right in between that. The level of design is so intricate. How'd you come up with most of it? This level was actually designed by someone else. This was designed by Ian Cusledge, who does some. He works in Hammer, so he does. useless. So he works in Hammer and he makes maps for TF2, and one of his maps actually made it into TF2. So I hired him to make a couple maps for this game. This is one of them. But yeah, I have a folder of inspiration of just geometry and architecture. So I use that a lot when I'm starting a new map. But this one was not made by me. No Spoon, thank you so much for that follow. Welcome to the stream. I feel like it's still probably too steep for minions, maybe. Also, it would be nice if this was beveled here. Glad to be here. Awesome, man. Thanks for stopping by. This is the struggle. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Delete this. Extrude this. Extrude this way. What the crap? Oh, ukuku. Ukuku. Thank you so much for that follow. I'm sorry for butchering your name. It's really cool. I like it a lot. I just can't say it. That's better. I gotta do the same on the other side real quick. I don't know why. Okay, that one it worked out well. It's weird. Alright, that's better. We'll see if that's shallow enough for minions to walk on or not. We could lower this, but then I'll have to redo all my angles. Let's just hope that's shallow enough. Was there something else? Nope, that was it. Rebuilding that level. Most of the time it takes to rebuild the levels is it's rebuilding the AI nav meshes. So let's test it out real fast. Minion. Make a minion, and he walks down it. Sweet. It works. Oh. Did I do that right? Okay. If I don't make the geometry right, then this culling effect doesn't work properly. Everything has to be welded together, which makes it harder to do level design, but whatever. Get out of here. Oh, this was a glitch. This wall is too thin. See, he can shoot me through that wall. That is a bug. Let's see what we can do about that. This is gonna suck. Alright. That should be enough. And now what we need to do... Okay, that actually worked. This looks thicker already. Like, this wall might already be thick enough. Yeah, I think it was just this wall. Which means that probably this wall is also... Yeah. I feel like this one's also thin. CQ2! I'm really having trouble with names, I'm sorry. CQ2, thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to the stream. And now we gotta do this. Hey, Gone Viking. How's it going? What did I do here? There we go. That's good. Those walls are thicker now. Oh, this was a glitch I wanted to fix. All good here too. Yep. Just your standard Monday night, late night coding stream. This should probably be thicker, I bet. It might be okay. We'll test it. See if it's thick enough. Our walls need to be thick, otherwise our drones will poke through them and then people can shoot you from the other side of the wall, which makes no physical sense. Gone Viking, we are making, well, we made, really, it's pretty much done, a shotgun. It's pretty cool. Alright, let's test this. Okay, this wall is just thick enough. This wall is thick enough, looks like. This wall is thick enough. And so is this one, because he stopped shooting at us. Yeah. Looks like they're all just thick enough. This game is going to be awesome! Wow! I'm glad you think so. Oh, this is not thick enough. We're sticking through it. Sticking through the wall there. Okay, let's go buy our shotgun. I'm glad I have another mid-range upgrade. I think this shotgun is going to be perfect for that. Let's find somebody to waste. Where is he? That was a bit premature. We'll get him. Ha! We got him. So that's the shotgun. Oh, what the heck? We got him. To get right up close to this guy and shotgun him. Oh, what the heck? Stealth didn't work there. Okay, let's see here. This, not thick enough. This right here. This right here. This right here. We will do 0.1. Should be enough. And we will have to do it on this guy as well. I think that's gonna be it. And now the tricky part will be this right here. Needs to be in line with that. It's actually not tricky because it's just 0.1. Now why does it look like we have something... Oh man, shoot. How do I solve this? Dang it. There we go. I did that one already. There we go. I can barely move around without screwing everything up in Blender. Yeah, I like it. I've been using it for a long time, so that always helps. This is still in your own engine from Lemma. No, this is a different engine. Lemma had its own custom level editor, and it was all voxels, and it was based on XNA. It was written in C#. This one is C++ with Blender and OpenGL, so totally different stack. But they're both custom engines, just different. Okay. See if we find any other level design glitches when we're playing. And then if I'm still feeling good, we could do the map switcher, which is some UI stuff if you guys want to see some UI code. Everyone loves UI code. Really, it shouldn't be too bad. Map switcher, it's just selecting what map the server is going to load next, and pretty much it. Oh, dang. Oh, come on. Gotcha. Oh, man. Why can't I kill these people? There we go. Okay, let's get our shotgun. Ouch. Gotcha. Ah. Gotcha. I love this thing. There we go. Did we kill him? Nope. Now we killed him. That thing is awesome. I recently made or just today, made the turrets a lot more deadly. So it's pretty much suicide to attack them on your own. Instead, you want to make a bunch of minions or have some kind of upgrade. Oh, let's see if this is thick enough. Yeah, that's good. As long as the back end of our shield doesn't poke out the other side of the wall, then it's good. Minion army. Yes! This is good. Cool. Well, I'm happy with our shotgun. I'm actually going to call it for now. But thank you guys so much for hanging out.